You guys loved when I faced off against AI, and I struggled hard. But what if we had AI design over the top crazy wedding cakes and had like 5-star bakeries do them? Could they pull it off? So just like last time, we're gonna use Midjourney and do that through the Discord server and /imagine.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's way too many letters for AI. Enchanted. Oh my God, strong start. Don't know if this is the direction that we're actually gonna wanna go in with it, but this one here, wow. Look at that one. I love the blue swirls. These all seem very doable though. Okay, I mean, this one would be a little bit hard. You know what, I'm just gonna fall down the generating rabbit hole.
Four hours later.
Archie, go lie down. Boo-boo, lie down. Oh my God.
He's a good boy.
We tried just about every prompt that we could think of. Spring, summer. Summer was weird, by the way. I don't know what vibe of wedding cake this was. But then we started like really finding some cool stuff when we went like extravagant and geode and geometric. I typed in wedding cake romantic, and suddenly we've got a guy with 2 girls. When we type in like LGBTQ, we've got like a girl and 2 guys. Way to go, AI, for being super progressive. I mean, pro thruples.
Archie just booped me in the bum with his toy. You got your toy? Oh, look at that happy dog.
Just a record, I love Archie too.
Yeah, everything's just like, Archie, go lay down.
I'm just trying to keep us on track.
We'd never get anything done if it weren't for you.
No. Now let's talk about the emerald cakes and the copper cakes. They were so beautiful. And I mean, we did a lot of renditions of emerald cakes and copper. Oh my God, the copper cakes. Love all of it, especially like the oxidized copper look I thought was really, really cool. This one I was so drawn to, I really wanted to do, but it seems a little basic. Not basic, but like this is AI. This is an AI wedding cake challenge. It has to be hard. At the end of it, we ended up with 2 amazing cakes. This one is absolutely incredible. I love the flowers, I love the color, but the bottom is what has me. Is it glass-like? Is it candy-like? Like, is this icing? Like, what is it made out of? But we also really love this copper cake. I mean, look at the pattern on the sides. Would you pipe coppered piping or something, or like cut lace out of fondant? Like, how are you doing this? We cannot pick between the 2 cakes. They're so beautiful. So I'm gonna put it on the community tab and let you guys decide which one we should order. 37,000 of you guys voted, and 77% of you voted for the copper cake. So I ordered it from 2 of my favorite 5-star bakeries, and they are going to be here any minute. Now this cake, like, let's break it down for a second because there's a lot going on here. Yes, it's a 4 tier, but like, do we see this like translucent blue flower? It is crazy looking. It almost looks like glass, but it could be isomal. It could be like a wafer flower or something. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with it. And you see some of the other flowers, they've got like almost jewels in them. Look at that. The copper dusting is flawless. It is not orange. Like, you can see the shine on that and how beautiful and copper it is. So I'm definitely looking for that. Like, it needs to be metallic. And the piping, like, this is what drew us to this design. You've got the blue fondant that's underneath, but then you have this like darker blue kind of sponged on look with food coloring. On top of that though, is this copper piping. Like, is it like one of those fondant little worms that you're kind of dusting and then draping around the cake? Did they try to dye icing copper and then pipe that? Like, how did they make it? And also the bottom part, it's actually going over that top edge. There's just a lot of components, even including right down to the copper cake board. Did they recreate this cake designed by AI exactly? Let's see. While Kevin gets the cake unboxed, I want to thank Love and Pie so much for sponsoring this video. I am a gaming girly, and that doesn't matter if I am watching TV or riding in the car or unwinding before bed. I've likely got a game going. I may not own my own bakery in real life, but my inner child is screaming for joy renovating my virtual bakery. Basically, the task is to merge various ingredients together to make baked goods, and then you merge those baked goods together until you've merged your way to filling customers' orders. You earn coins from each order, but then you use those to move forward in this dramatic, mysterious story while renovating your cafe along the way. The desserts and graphics are adorable, but I especially love the inclusive, diverse range of characters and the abundance of pride flags this month. Along with the main story, there's always fun new events going on to keep the game interesting, including a special celebration event that just launched on June 19th that you're gonna wanna check out. Honestly, it is just a super easy game that I can zone out while unwinding. Some games I love for capturing all of my attention, and other ones like this are amazing for when you're multitasking or you can pick up and put down easily without having to worry about losing progress in the game. If you guys want to check it out, you can download Love and Pies for free on mobile and tablets using my link down below. Okay, I can look?
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so tall! Look at the translucent flowers! Oh, I think they made them out of Icing. How did they even do that? Oh, it's sticky like candy. Okay. I mean, I said it had to be copper, it had to have jewels, it had to have some like glass flowers, what I was looking for, along with like the gum paste flowers, that you need the piping, that this needed to come over. Like all the things I said, they've checked all the boxes. This is really, really cool. Without knowing it was designed by AI, it just looks like a modern trendy wedding cake. They really did bring AI's vision, if you will, to life. And I feel like it looks amazing. Even the copper cake bar, like down to the last detail. Look at the picture and look at the cake. Those are pretty similar, pretty similar.
Pretty good.
I feel like it's a little lighter blue than I thought it was gonna be. But like looking at it, it's not really that dark of a blue. It could be the background, like adding more this moody ambiance to it. I don't know. I can't believe, like just as far as like sugar flower goes, that she completely nailed like the glass looking ones as well as this flower. What is the center of that? That is like a succulent stuck inside of some sort of flower. Like it's so weird, but that is exactly what AI made. It made this weird flower and she created that. Like, golden. I think she nailed so many things so well, especially all of like these lines that are going all around the cake. I think what she did was like use an extruder and did like little fondant. Hold on, I got the tool. This thing, I think she used this thing, which you like push the fondant through and it makes like little logs or worms and then you put those on the cake. That's very time consuming, hard to do, especially if you're hand painting them to be copper. Some parts are more painted than others that she had to like sit there and be tediously hand painting all of them. And you can see even like when it came to sticking them on the cake, there's a little bit of shininess of where like the edible glue would have been. Where she would have had to pick all those up and individually glue them to the cake. Like that's challenging and I think she did a really good job. Then there's other spots that I think that she just took some creative license with. The height of the top tier specifically is a lot bigger than the picture, but all of the heights seem a bit like the portions it's a bit tall. But I also love a tall cake, so I'm not complaining. And the sails are a lot different, but I think she honestly kept the design real to AI, but somehow like also improved on it a bit. Now let's taste it.
Too bad we weren't recording for that.
Yeah, I almost dropped the cake. I was sliding it towards me, and it's really top heavy because these 3 tiers are styrofoam. Now, I would normally order all cake. And all of our cakes are always like, they always go to somebody. No cake ever gets wasted. But this is a 4-tier wedding cake. What is anyone gonna do with a 4-tier wedding cake? So we decided to just do the top tier cake, but that also makes this very top heavy and almost went smashing to the ground when I try to pull it towards me. Also, I should mention that this cake was $800, which I think is a really reasonable price for what it is for a wedding cake. And if it was all cake, it would be a couple $100s more. Do you see the wiggly wobbliness of this? I can't see the line to cut the other line.
I'll do it for you.
Are you taking it right out?
You won't not want me to?
No, you can do that.
No,
There's
no,
also
I'm
a cake server there.
There you go. That's all you know. You got me on cake. Why are you so close?
Okay.
I can play these games too, Larry.
Don't play these games! The chocolate cake with Bailey's filling. Oh, it smells very alcoholic. That looks so creamy. The chocolate cake isn't too chocolatey, but the icing is so creamy. You can definitely taste the alcohol in there, but it has a lot of flavor too. The filling, I would probably give like an 8 out of 10. Like the filling is amazing. I prefer a more chocolatey cake. So the cake, maybe I would give more like a 5, but like combination is definitely in a 7. Like it's a good slice of cake. I can't wait to see what the second bakery did though, because it's the exact same cake. How different can it look? Okay. I can look?
You can look.
Oh my God! How is it so different? Wow, I was a little worried. I was worried ordering the same cake from 2 5-star bakeries instead of like a 1-star versus 5-star, that I'd end up with basically the same cake side by side and be like, okay, there's nothing to talk about here. But there's a lot to talk about here. For one, this is very moody. Like when I was talking about, like, it seemed a lot brighter than I thought. This, without the background, has that moody feel. I will say that the color versus the color does look darker. Also, there's oranges going on here and copper. There's no oranges going on here. But still, that flower, that weird center, nailed, but in such a beautiful, beautiful way. This is like clunky and weird, but like this is like bringing that to life in a real, like this almost looks like a realistic flower to me, if there was a copper flower. And they also did nail like the same sugar blue flowers. I was so worried that I was only gonna get sugar flowers that were not translucent at all. And I got my little glass blue flower, so I am happy. You can see that they stuck the flowers together with like kind of like a blob of like more, I'm guessing, ice malt in the middle. I'm just missing those jewels. I wish I had those jewels. The flowers are very different. They're beautiful, but they are very different because this one, you can see there are more open flowers and they have jeweled centers. These ones are very closed petaled flowers. There's no jewels, but they're absolutely stunning. Like this is a breathtaking cake. Again, if I saw this at a wedding, I wouldn't think this was designed by AI. I would just think this is a modern, beautiful, trendy wedding cake. Also, I feel like the blue layers have a lot more dimension happening to them. If you see these streaks, I think the fondant itself was marbled before she covered the cakes and then went on top with a sponge in another color. Absolutely beautiful. There was 2 ways I thought that they could go about the lace work, which is either they could do the fondant extruding with like the tool that I showed you, or dye icing and actually pipe copper icing. And this one, that's the direction that she went in. And she didn't just do like random piping, like this looks like random piping. That looks like a flower. That looks like a branch. Like these are leaves, like these are purposeful piping. I think that the first baker tried so hard to really replicate this exactly. And the other baker was like, I love this cake, let's make this cake, but bring it to life in my own kind of vision of what I think this is. And I think that they're both individually really beautiful. Don't fall over on me. This one's flavor is a coffee cake with a chocolate buttercream. You see my thumbprints? Just try to balance so I don't knock it over. Every time I try to like push in a little bit, it's just like, I'm gonna fall over. It smells phenomenal. It's not sweet, like at all, but it's really rich and it's really bitter and really good. I love the flavor combination, but the cake layers and filling layers are too thick. The bites aren't even. Like when I got here, the ratios are off, but the flavor, I'd also give a 7 out of 10. There's nothing crazy. There's nothing too bold. It's just a basic coffee cake with a basic chocolate ganache, but the combination is really good and it's executed really good. Wow, they completely both nailed the design. Like these are both amazing and look like the AI cake, but it's just like their own artistic interpretation of it. But I love reading your reviews the best, so let me know down below what you think and how you would rate them. Thanks again so much to Love & Pies for sponsoring this video. If you want to check it out, you can download Love & Pies for free on mobile and tablet using my link below. Love ya.